Morning, Matt. Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Michelle. I'm going to say I'm very excited about this because my wife and I are huge fans of interior design masters, and we have come to the conclusion, Michelle, that you are uh, the greatest TV judge that we've ever seen. You are fair, straight to the point, slightly scary and cutting at times, but always honest, and we never disagree with a single decision you've ever made. So I'm very excited to chat to you today.
Oh my goodness, can we just end the interview right there? That's you've made my year, my week, my year, my month. That's amazing. Thank you.
No, oh Michelle, you're more than welcome. Honestly, we started watching it, and I mean, we're both quite passionate about interior design. I mean, you wouldn't guess that from the fact that our house is completely white and grey. You would hate it, Michelle. However, we just have absolutely loved it. And as I say, you are just so fair with the contestants. We're like, Michelle knows exactly what she's talking about here. It's fantastic.
Well, I'm actually super thrilled that I just found out that I've been nominated in the Expo category in the is it the National TV Awards?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I literally someone on Instagram kind of told me about it. I'm like, I'm not sure, I don't know what you're talking about. And then looked it up and it's true, it's there. So I need to start shouting about that soon. Maybe you could vote for me.
I will absolutely vote for you. My wife and me will just be there clicking vote continuously, changing
That's
our
what we're
IP
after.
addresses and voting more. Oh, Michelle, congratulations then.
Thank you. I know. I kind of like, I don't think it's quite sunk in because like no one is saying anything about it. I kind of don't think it's quite real, but it is the proper actual award. So yeah, it's really quite exciting, very exciting. I mean,
Absolutely.
my God, the category is there is like amazing people in there as well. I mean, you've got Mary Berry and all the people off all the cook shows and Lord Sugar. I mean, Prue Leith. I mean, hello. So but it's nice to be nominated.
Nonsense. Lord Sugar over exit. He's got scripted bits he writes. That's why we love you, Michelle, because you're just always so honest and you really know what you're talking about. So I think you could walk away with this one. I'm very excited.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
No, you're welcome. Right, okay. Look, obviously, Interior Design Masters, a brilliant show. Well, I've watched it loads. It's all about interior design. But actually, today we've sort of got you on the show to chat about exterior, haven't we?
I know. I mean, get me. I'm going to start saying, like, stop bringing the outdoors in and start doing the outdoors up. I mean, that's where it's all about right now. I mean, it was actually an interiors brand, Heels, that did some research that showed that 80% of us now understand that being outside is good for our mental health. And I mean, I just find that really exciting because it's talking about mental health really freely, but also showing that we're really getting it, that it's important. It's not just to look at, that outdoors, being outdoors, communing with nature is good for you.
Yeah, well, I think obviously, the last couple of years that we've all been through together and being locked down and being cooped up and then being told, look, you can go outside for exercise. And that became like the big focal point of the day. And people started to really realize that actually the bit where I'm feeling great is that bit where I go outside. And so I must start making more of an effort to do that.
Yeah, no, I think it's really true. I mean, I think, if we're allowed to take even a slither of a silver lining from the kind of trauma that we've all been through, it was this fact that we'd previously been locked into this sort of attitude of like racing from our homes in the morning and then crashing back to them at night or in the evening and kind of missing the whole of like the bit in the middle, which is actually our life. And I think it just, you suddenly in slowing down, which is also what I think gardening does for you. I mean, literally nurturing plants into life and getting your hands dirty. It showed us that there's great power in that. And it's right there. It's right there on our doorsteps. I mean, I know not all of us are lucky enough to have a garden, and quite often they're quite small spaces, but there really is a lot that you can do to any size space with not spending a lot of money to make them be somewhere that you want to spend time in.
Yeah. Are you much of a gardener yourself, Michelle?
I'm quite new to gardening, I have to admit. I kind of inherited a sort of very old fashioned garden in the front of my house with sort of literally 100-year-old passion fruit tree. And I just kind of let it do its thing. And I kind of called myself an intuitive gardener, which basically means I just tidy it. I get rid of stuff that I think, oh, that looks a bit ugly. But then over lockdown, I actually had the opportunity to add a garden space to the back of my house. I mean, it's tiny. It's like the width of a road. And it's been a hugely protracted negotiation with the council, but it's sort of dead end cul-de-sac bit that used to be just a dumping ground and was graffitied on. So it's sort of like I wanted to reclaim it. And so it's been this real kind of process of rewilding, And I admit, at first I thought, but I do interiors, I don't know anything about exteriors. But I realized that I just had to treat it like another room. And so with the hardscaping, it was using all my usual tricks of like going for lots of texture, materials that will stand the test of time. And, so wood, stone, tiles, brick, and everything was reclaimed because I wanted it to look as if it had always been there. And then I did invest in 2 chairs that can stay out all the time, because I think for many people as well, storage is an issue. I mean, I don't have space to kind of be storing lots of like furniture over the winter. So they had to stay out the whole time. But otherwise, I bring stuff from indoors out. So your cushions, your throws, the soft stuff. And so, you're using what you have already.
Michelle, this is the first time I've ever heard you say this, because you're constantly on Interior Design Master going, bring the outside in, and it's all about plants and bringing that sort of nature in, and you love that, and subsequently, Michelle, I now love that as well. But now you're like, right, get all the inside of your house and bring that out into the back.
Well, allegedly summer is coming. So, we've got to kind of use our outside space. So, I mean, I've still got all the house plants inside because, they're like kind of like household ninjas. I mean, they're cleaning the air for us. So that's just brilliant. But it is just that kind of thing of like, what if I can just go a little bit further? So, I'm always going to like try and push everyone slightly. And it's just to put your own stamp on whatever little space that you've got. Because I know a lot of people like, maybe they're literally looking at a brick wall and they're going, seriously, I can't do anything with that. But imagine if you just got like half a tin of paint and painted that brick wall like bright pink, like you see they kind of often do in places like Mexico, or turquoise blue or something. And suddenly you're kind of completely uplifting yourself, or maybe just white to make it feel kind of bright and clean. Although the one thing I think I would try and say to people to invest in is an outdoor rug. Because, I mean, these days, like, indoors, you use a rug to kind of create a zone, create a sense of space, and you do exactly the same outside. So just by putting a rug down, it like makes it instantly more cozy and more comfortable. And a lot of them today are made from recycled plastic. So that's like a sustainability win-win. And that's something that can stay out all the time. And that will make a huge difference. So if you've got your rug and you've painted your wall, drag your cushions outside, you're there.
Brilliant. Well, this is great news, Michelle, because I've been doing up the inside of my house, and I've got a tiny little yard at the back. It's barely anything to it, but it's an absolute mess. It's just a bit of a dumping ground at the minute. And we've said before we get into the summer, we're going to try and sort it out. But it is literally, as you describe, sort of a wall that you look at and some scrappy sort of concrete on the ground. Don't really know what to do with it. So you're right. Giving the wall a lick of paint and a rug could be an easy and cheap way to do it as well. Because I have chatted to some garden companies, but it's well expensive to get it all done properly.
No, it is. And, we have to be realistic. We are in a cost of living crisis. I mean, when people have to choose between heating and eating, it might seem a bit rich to kind of start talking about kind of outdoor furniture. But literally what you've described, I think, is a space that many people will have. Paint that wall, put down the rug. I mean, you need to take your seat outside. And container planting would be the other thing I would say, because you can buy kind of large terracotta pots like quite inexpensively. One plant in there, something bee and bird friendly, something fragrant. So it's like the equivalent of kind of a candle outside, but containers as well. It's like if you move or you're only renting, you can take that with you. And instantly you're creating a real sense of space. And I think actually I mustn't forget to add in, like, who doesn't like a fairy light? Okay. And now you can buy fairy lights that are solar powered. So you're not even having to plug them in, no electricity required. And yet I think, I'm picturing this scene in your backyard now and thinking you've suddenly created something that you want to be in. You're opening your doors and you're there with your beer or your glass of rosé. What more do you need?
Oh, Michelle, absolutely, I'm sold. I'm going home today to paint that wall and put some solar powered fairy lights up. Because you're right, actually. There's a pub in our village. I drive past it and they've just whacked some fairy lights outside, and I'm like, oh, that looks like the most inviting place ever. And it's just exactly the same, but it looks really canny.
I know. I mean, that's it. I think it's the kind of little tricks, that keep it simple. All you need is a seat to relax in, somewhere to rest your beer, an abundance of lovely fragrant plants. That's it.
Perfect. Michelle, what's on the cards for you going forwards? And obviously, Interior Design Masters, the series just finished. Banjo, a brilliant winner. Absolutely loved him as well. What you must have loads going on at the minute, I imagine.
Well, I can excitingly reveal that in 3 weeks' time, we start filming season 2, and I'm going to start writing my second book. So I've already written one book, Happy Inside, How to Harness the Power of Home for Health and Happiness. But I want to write something now that's like really simple, the sort of book that you would get and you're going to read it in one sitting and then get up and go, oh my God, I'm going to do this stuff. Because for me, the only reason to do any of this, indoors or out, is because of the effect it has on your well-being. This stuff makes you happy. And Lord knows we all need a bit of that.
Absolutely, Michelle. I couldn't agree more. Well, it's good luck with the new book and stuff as well. Look forward to reading that one and the next series as well. And thank you so much for popping on the show this morning. It's been lovely.
Oh, thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you too, Matt.
Awesome. That's great, Michelle. Thank you so much. And yeah, sorry for fangirling. I am a huge fan. I shall let you go.
Bless you. Thank you. I want to know what colour you're going to paint your wall, though.
Oh, well, I mean, as you've heard, my house is very white and grey. I'd be tempted by white, but do you know what? After you've just said about the the Mexican yards and stuff painting it pink, I watched Coco, the Disney film, the other day, and it made me kind of think, actually, I need some bright colour. So yeah, it's maybe it's a sign that I need to do that.
Yeah, go for it. Brilliant.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michelle.
All right, take care.
Cheers. Bye now.